Here's a number that should scare you. 36,500,000,000 hours. That is how much household labor disappears every single year if Tesla actually builds the 10 million robots it has promised. Not factory robots. Not warehouse robots. Robots standing in your kitchen, next to your parents, next to your grandchildren. While Boston Dynamics teaches its machines to backflip for applause, Elon Musk has quietly poured billions of dollars into something far less glamorous. Teaching a robot how to pick up an egg without crushing it. That single obsession tells you everything about where the next decade of your life is heading. Because the real question was never whether a robot can dance. It is whether a machine can be trusted alone in the most private room of your home. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you will understand exactly why that trust is either the greatest breakthrough of our lifetime or the most dangerous gamble Silicon Valley has ever made. Every few months, another humanoid robot goes viral for doing something acrobatic. Boston Dynamics Atlas somersaults across a warehouse floor. Unitree's G1 throws martial arts kicks at a price that makes engineers gasp. Figure AI shows off warehouse pick-and-place routines, and Agility Robotics Digit quietly moves boxes in Amazon facilities. These are genuine engineering achievements, and they generate millions of views. But none of them answer the one question that actually decides whether a family lets a robot into their house. Can it survive an environment that was never designed for machines at all? A warehouse has straight aisles and predictable shelves. A kitchen has hot soup, a toddler's toy left on the floor, a cat darting between your legs, and a stack of mismatched plates that all have to be handled differently. That is not a robotics demo. That is real life, and real life does not forgive mistakes. Now stop and picture the person you actually worry about most. A parent living alone after a health scare. A grandparent who insists they are fine right up until the day they are not. That is the exact scenario Tesla is quietly building toward. A machine standing between an aging body and the accidents that send families into crisis. If that machine truly works as promised, it could be the real difference between staying independent and moving into a nursing home. If it fails at the wrong moment, the consequences are not embarrassing, they are irreversible. That is why this entire engineering race deserves far more scrutiny than another viral robot backflip ever will. Think about what that actually means for someone who lives alone, or for an adult child who worries every single day about a parent falling in an empty house. This is exactly why Tesla's strategy looks so strange from the outside. Instead of chasing agility, Optimus V3 is being built around dexterity. And the difference between those two words might decide who actually wins this race and who actually gets welcomed into a family home. According to Tesla's current technical direction, each hand on Optimus V3 is expected to carry 22 degrees of freedom, roughly double the previous generation, paired with nearly triple the tactile and force sensors. Musk himself has called the hand one of the hardest and most expensive engineering problems Tesla has ever tackled, because it has to satisfy two opposite demands at once. Demands that most machines are never asked to reconcile. It has to lift objects heavier than 18 kilograms, while staying gentle enough to hold a wine glass, a raw egg, or your grandmother's hand without applying more force than a whisper. Get that balance wrong even once, and the entire promise of a trustworthy home companion collapses instantly. Picture that contrast for a second. A machine strong enough to carry your entire grocery haul up 3 flights of stairs, yet delicate enough to button a shirt cuff on someone whose fingers no longer cooperate the way they used to. That gap between brute strength and surgical gentleness is the single hardest problem in robotics today. And it is the reason Tesla redesigned the entire hand from scratch. Instead of stuffing heavy motors into the fingers, engineers moved most of the actuators back into the forearm and routed the force through bio-inspired tendons, the same basic architecture your own hand uses. The result is a lighter hand, faster reflexes, and enough freed-up space to pack in far more tactile sensing hardware than any previous generation. Here's the part that should really make you pause, and it is the part almost nobody outside robotics labs is talking about. Success for this hand will not be measured in kilometers per hour or how high it can jump. It will be measured by something almost invisible: the micro-failure rate, the number of times per 1,000 attempts it drops a plate, overpours a cup of coffee, or grips too hard and shatters something irreplaceable. One bad grip on a hot pan is not a funny blooper reel for social media. It is a burn, a shattered heirloom, or worse, an injury to someone who cannot move fast enough to get out of the way. That is the quiet, unglamorous standard this entire trillion-dollar bet has to clear before it ever earns a place in your home. None of that hand engineering matters without a brain capable of running it in real time, which is where Tesla's AI-5 computing platform enters the picture, expected to replace the AI-4 chips currently running in Tesla vehicles. But here is something most people get backwards. A self-driving car mainly has to predict how other vehicles, cyclists, and pedestrians will move on a flat, mapped road. A household robot has to solve a vastly harder puzzle. It has to recognize thousands of unlabeled objects, judge whether a cup is full or empty by weight alone, sense whether a pan is dangerously hot before it ever touches it, watch for a child's toy on the floor, track a pet moving unpredictably underfoot, and adjust every single movement instantly as the environment shifts around it. Many robotics researchers now openly admit that this kind of physical intelligence is a harder problem than autonomous driving ever was, and that alone should change how you think about the timeline Tesla has promised. All of this hardware and software exists to serve one economic obsession: driving the effective cost of physical labor down toward $1 an hour. Musk has repeatedly framed Optimus not as a gadget, but as a platform capable of rewriting the price of human labor itself. As production scales toward roughly 1 million units a year, manufacturing costs are projected to fall to somewhere between $20,000 and $25,000 per unit, with a long-term retail price near $30,000. Those numbers are not really about the robot. They are about what a family is actually buying. A machine that can cook, clean, fold laundry, carry groceries, and quietly assist an aging parent for years is not a purchase. It is thousands upon thousands of hours of labor bought up front, and for many households approaching retirement. That idea is either deeply comforting or deeply unsettling, depending on how much you trust the thing standing in your hallway. It helps to remember that we have heard this exact skepticism before. In the early 1980s, people asked why any ordinary family would ever need a computer sitting in their living room. 4 decades later, the question has quietly flipped. Today, the question is not whether a family can afford to bring this kind of labor into their home. It is whether they can afford not to, as cleaning services, home care, and skilled labor keep getting more expensive every single year. Tesla's plan to get there runs directly through its own factories before it ever reaches your living room. And this is where the real experiment quietly begins. The first generation of Optimus units are expected to keep working inside Fremont and the Texas Gigafactory, because a factory floor is a controlled, forgiving place to fail, far safer than testing on a stranger's kitchen counter. Every dropped part, every misjudged grip, every correction becomes training data that is fed back into the system, and Musk has suggested that future versions could accelerate this even further by learning directly from instructional videos rather than requiring engineers to hand program every motion. In theory, a single robot's mistake in Fremont could become a lesson absorbed by every robot on the planet through a simple software update, overnight, without a single engineer touching a keyboard. It sounds like the kind of breakthrough that changes everything overnight, the kind of leap that only comes along once every few decades. But before you get too comfortable with that vision, ask yourself a harder question. Is fleet learning really the technological miracle it is being sold as, or is it running straight into the wall of physical reality? Even 2 robots built on the exact same assembly line will never be perfectly identical. A joint might be off by 1/10 of a millimeter, a motor might run 2 degrees hotter, a force sensor might read 5% more sensitive than its twin. In tasks that demand millisecond-level precision, differences that small are enough to make a shared AI model completely unreliable unless it is recalibrated on site unit by unit. A grip pattern that works flawlessly on Robot A could shatter a glass in the hands of Robot B, and that is not a hypothetical. That is basic manufacturing tolerance.